Welcome to the Wellness Dentist Podcast. Join biological and cosmetic dentist Dr. Katie Toe as she explores holistic wellness through trending ideas, real stories, and patient experiences. This podcast will inspire you to make healthy lifestyle choices and take charge of your dental wellness. And now your host, the wellness dentist, Dr. Katie Toe.
Welcome to the Wellness Dentist Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Katie Toe, and today I have a fellow biohacker at the Beyond Biohacking Conference, and also a dear friend and a talented CEO of Kappler Design, who actually we're working with in our new clinic space and our headquarters. Julia, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
First of all, I have to ask, how are you feeling about this Beyond Biohacking Conference?
I'm super excited. It's my first time, and ever since I'm young, I always loved the brain. So I feel like all the little gadgets and tools, super exciting, and just hearing from everyone about all the things that I think most of us have never heard about before is fascinating.
Yeah. And the fact that you're working with dentists and medical professionals, help them build and design and bringing their vision to life, where the space that they spend more time than at home. I spend way more time at my office than at home. And so can you share with me, how did you get started on this journey?
Yes. Well, I guess I got started in this general journey because my family has been in this world for almost 80 years. So
80 years.
I am the fourth generation, and I had the privilege to bring the company into North America about 10, 11 years ago.
We're so grateful.
And I would say my personal story is I was never asked to be in the company, but I always loved two things, which one is design, architecture, interior design. I always loved it. And two, I've always been fascinated with psychology and actually studied the male and female brain back in high school. So I always loved those two things, and that kind of brought me into joining the company, coming to the US, and just seeing the environments in which healthcare was provided. And it felt very off to me that the spaces did not feel comforting. They were disorganized, they were dark, and I really wanted to change that.
Thank you so much. Again, I'm so grateful because every time we see Kappler Design, we say, that's what we want. It doesn't feel like a dental office. It feels like you're in a spa, and you actually can see the vision of the practitioners or the founder of the practice. And so we're so grateful. And when you come and attend the biohacking, you now seeing the different sides of wellness. It's not just about processing patients or treating patients, but it's also taking care of the patient, physical, spiritual, emotional. It's a whole experience. What do you see the difference coming from Germany to the US? What's the big difference beside design? Was it the flow? Was it the organization? Was it the entire, I would say, paperwork? Because you work at all 50 states, and you know every single state, every single city have different regulation. So what is that stand out for you moving from Germany to the US?
Yeah, I would say the biggest, most obvious difference truly was just the way that the spaces looked, very just dark and outdated. But from a workflow perspective, I also just saw a lot of outdated concepts where I could see, just like in healthcare, there was a problem in the workflow, but we didn't analyze the root cause of the problem. So we just put a Band-Aid on top of it, or we created an escape. And that is something that I really realized, that there were not enough people asking the question, how can we make this better? But just building the same exact spaces and concepts for decades.
Yeah, and replicate in numbers, right?
Yeah.
Because it's become, what do we say? We normalize that flow, like the dark and the medical dental feel to it, and make people traumatized because that's was like what they walk into dental office in the 80s and 90s, and then now they're like, I'm feeling I'm coming back to the same space. Well, I didn't have a good experience. So I appreciate that. And then to me, I think patients also asking for different experience. They want to be heard. They want to have the privacy. They don't want to smell the dental office smell. And so when you design, especially for the dental practice in the US, what do you try to incorporate? I know here light, and I hear like personalities and I would say flavors and personality of the owner. But what do you see that you bring differently compared to what they design here in the U.S. typical
Yeah.
practice?
My whole entire philosophy of design is that design is more than what you see. And a lot of times, design is limited to just the aesthetic part of what you see, and we're neglecting the rest of the senses that we as humans have that affect our nervous system and then affect truly how we experience spaces. So it's much deeper than just colors and finishes and textures. We have to understand, if we utilize the word experience, how does the space affect our bodies and our nervous system? And that is noise. Is what we hear. Specifically in dental offices, there's suction, there's drills. We don't want to hear that the second we walk into the space. It's the smell. What do I smell in the space? Yes, it's also what we see. All of those senses together is what create an experience.
Yeah. And I know that people that walk into the Kappler design know the difference. Like even the dentist, when they see one, they're like, yeah, it's definitely not the typical. And in our conversation, we always say there's healthcare and there's sick care. And so I know when Kappler design, it's like, oh, we are designed for healthcare. We want patients to be having that experience. The provider will have a better environment to work, because like I said, if the workflow is not right and we cannot change it or we don't want to change it, it's accumulate into like compound effect. You go home, you feel like you're irritated, but you don't know why. The next day, it's just adding on to it. I don't think people think it through when they walk into the dental office or design the office about the workflow. And you stress about that a lot in design. You say it's not just about the look, it's all about efficiency and organization. Can you share with us more about your philosophy on that?
Yeah, I would say the most important part, what I also always say, is that you can design a great office, you take the photos before opening and it looks pretty, but if your space looks different on your busiest day, then you just put a band-aid over your issues. So it starts with analyzing and understanding the work that's performed in the practice. The clinicians, you guys know how to perform your job, but you don't have to analyze every detail, how every piece of instrument and equipment moves throughout the whole entire space, the way that your staff moves, the patient moves. There's so many small little details. In order to improve a workflow, we first have to understand how does it currently work, and then come up with systems that support that. And I would say the huge benefit that we have as a company is that for 80 years, we've been manufacturing the millwork that goes into the practices. So we understand everything from the drawers to the doors in every room. And now we're able to take those small little down to the millimeter into the rest of the space. And that allows us to go from the small details to the big picture, as opposed to the other way around.
Wow. Yes, we can totally definitely see, like you even came down to our office and watching us for a day and see to see how your workflow turn out. And efficiency is a big thing for us in terms of not just for the patient experience, but for the wellness of the team. You know, they're not stressed out by the end of the day. They're not running. I mean, everyone wants 10,000 steps. But if you can do it with less step and more efficiency, and you can go outside and get some sunshine and get the steps outside instead of just in the office, I know everyone appreciate that. I know one thing that you see in Germany and Europe that you have not seen in the U.S. What would that be in the dental practice?
I don't think that there is a specific thing that I have not seen. We have a lot more regulations. And I think they're good regulations. So what we do a lot is we take those regulations, because basically we're being held to a higher standard, which you see in the clinical area too. So we take a lot of those regulations and implement them. And we've seen over years that a lot of those regulations have started to come over here. So as a practice, number one, you hold yourself to a higher standard, but also you're prepped for what's to come.
Yeah. Like for one thing that I'm so happy that you support my decision is having that instrument washer. You know, like I don't understand why people not thinking about that and think that is a crazy idea.
I know why. Do you know why?
You're going to tell the dentist that listen to the show.
Yes, because we have been told over years and years that those washers break down And instead of asking, why does it break down? They just removed it from the process.
Yeah.
We asked the question, why do they break down? And the answer was because of the water quality. So the solution is not removing it from the workflow. The solution is make sure you have a water filtration system.
But you think about it, it's common sense. You in a medical dental practice, your water sources, right? Had to be good. This is the medical instruments. Just like the autoclave had to have distilled water. I don't understand why it doesn't make sense to people that the instruments washer also needs special water. And in fact, your whole house and your whole practice should have special water.
Yeah.
Yes. And I love that. I had to fight for that. Is that crazy?
It is.
Yes.
It's still outdated concepts because we're still looking at, oh, this is why it doesn't work, as opposed to how can we make it work to actually help create a faster, better, also safer environment.
Yes, for sure. And being at the Biohacking Conference, you can see that there's so much more we can do to create that experience, not just for the patient, but for the team. Because we spend so much time healing others, patients in the practice and take care of people. And if we don't take care of ourselves, we're not going to last. And so I'm always said that you have to walk the talk of eating, drinking, meditation, breathing, all of that. Because patients know, I can tell that you can have a beautiful practice, but if you're not practicing wellness, people can see that just the moment they meet you. So.
And you also feel it, right? It's going back to if your staff is stressed because the environment works against them, it's so much harder for you to then flip the switch to then be happy and energetic with your patient, as opposed to you're in an environment where you already feel better, performing your job. Now you have more energy to give to your patient as well.
Yeah. And I think that people thinking that thousands of practices build its way, or they call like the saving money way or the fast way, but they don't understand the toll that it takes. Just like we talk about sugars or seed oil, a little bit every day is accumulate. It's just the same as the workflow that's not well, or the team member that's not happy, but that you're not fixing the root cause, and it's end up to be a bigger problem. You're losing the team member, or you're stressed out even more. So what is one thing you want dentists to know if they're planning to open a practice from scratch? Like they have an idea of having a practice, but they're like, okay, I'm going to start the process of designing. How do they work with Kappler Design? Of course, we want to start from scratch and not jump in the middle of the project and have to work with the compromise, right? Work with what they have. But how can they start that project? What advice you have for a dentist that want to open this practice with wellness in mind?
Yeah. I tell the same thing to every single person, and it goes even beyond dental. If you want to start your own practice, you have to first sit down and get very, very clear on what kind of practice you want to build, what kind of business owner you want to be, what kind of practitioner you want to be, and be very clear on that, because there's so many voices and everyone is going to tell you something different.
Yes.
And if you don't have that foundation to build on, it's going to be very, very difficult to make decisions, and you might in the process just lose the concept of why you're actually wanting to do that. So to me, most important is get clear on who you want to be in this practice.
So clarity on the vision, that's step one. What is step two? When they have that clarity and they protected that vision, they're like, okay, nobody going to change this from me. Yes, I can be flexible, but I want that vision to be protected. So what's the next step? Who should they reach out? And because a lot of people thinking, I need to hire an architect. And I'm like, no, you don't even know what you're going to build. So what the next step that they need to work on once they have the vision protected?
Yeah. Obviously, having a location and funding is very important to have before everything else starts. From our side, I mean, we want to be on board in the project as soon as funding. You at least kind of know what you have and having some kind of location or direction, because for us, we need to do a deep dive assessment into your vision, because we're going to stick to the foundation and the values, but it's our job to ensure that it's translated into all the little details. And that starts with the way that the space is laid out.
Yeah. And I tell, because people are asking us a lot about this process, and I said, it's going to be a process with a lot of decision. It's a complicated process in constructions, but I believe that the decision also turn into like a lot of it is emotional to attach to that visions and what do you want to do with your vision versus like cut costs or the times or the permit or the regulation. So have the party involved and protect that vision. Someone understand, like say, you understand our vision of this is a wellness practice. We have a lounge. And people are like, oh, that's just a waste of space. But now you understand, yeah, we need that red light bed. We need that chair for patients to really get into the parasympathetic before they go into procedure. And so it's important to our vision, and we protect that vision. And you're right, a lot of voices telling us, do this and not do that. And having that clear vision and the people on your team to support that is very crucial and important.
Yeah, and that's why there is no one size fits all. It requires a deep dive into what do you really want to build. And I think it's important to have someone that you trust to support that vision. But I also think, just like in any relationship, you want to have someone that also sometimes challenges some thoughts and says, well, do you really think this is the right way? Hey, this would be an alternative option, because sometimes we also say we want to be something, but then we're trying to make a shortcut. So it's important to have someone that also is confident enough to tell you if maybe you're wrong or there's might be a better way.
Yeah, have the accountability on the
Absolutely.
team. Yeah. There's no easy way to do this, especially if you have the courage to build a practice from startup or have the visions for this. But there's definitely a better experience in building it and see, like for us, we probably moving in a few weeks, and we know, oh my God, what a journey. But it's a really rewarding journey because everyone are excited to see the space come to life from your renditions to now, like we see it with our own eyes. It's a wonderful experience, and I can't wait for the patient to see it too. So you at the Biohacking Conference, and we always ask our guests on the podcast, what are the top 3 wellness daily practices? And I'm telling you, we have so many guests and no one ever gave the same 3 things. So I can't wait to hear yours. What is your 3 daily wellness practices? Because you're a CEO, you're super busy, you travel international a lot. And so what are those 3 wellness practices that help you ground it and stay healthy?
Yeah, I've been unintentionally doing this my whole life, but my mornings and my evenings are very sacred, and I'm very, very specific on my sleep schedule. Always have been. I'm an
Amazing.
early bird, so I like to get up early in the morning. I need about 3 hours before I want to talk to anyone, before I touch my phone. That's time for me, whether that be going outside on a run, going to the gym, or just sit, drink tea, read. Without that, I'm typically in a bad mood. And my evenings, I also go to bed every single day, even if it's the weekends, at the very latest at 10 o'clock. So I need my rest, I need my sleep.
Yeah.
Those are my 2 mornings and evenings. And then the other part, I just love to go on walks. It clears my mind. We all know there's science behind moving our bodies. I just really like to walk outside and get out of my head.
Yeah. And your job requires a lot of creativity. So
Yes.
you need that clarity and need that creativity space. And I love that you say 3 hours. I was sitting out for 1 hour, but I'm like, no, I need to have that 3 hours instead. Discipline does give us more freedom. And so,
Yeah, I also think that if we utilize that time where we just tell the world, you cannot interrupt me, during the day, it's not possible because people will call, meetings will shift, but from 5 a.m. until 8 a.m., I can just not be available and the world will be okay.
that's a great reminder for people because like yesterday, Arthur Brooke, right, was a great presentations on stage. She was talking about the challenge of not touching the phone when you wake up, when you have meal, and then also before you go to bed. And I know it sounds simple, but a lot of people, it's a huge challenge. In the name of work or whatever the reason is, people just could not disconnect with that. So that's a great reminder from a CEO of a really one of the best design company and cabinet company in the world, telling you that the first 3 hours of the day, the world going to be okay. Your company going to be okay if you're not touching your phone and spend that 3 hours for yourself. Yes. So thank you so much for sitting down and chat with us about it, because I know a lot of dentists been asking me about the experience working with Kappler. And I'm like, yeah, what the best way to have you sit down with us at the Beyond Biohacking to talk about the experience. And now they also know that the wellness is not just stay in the practice design or the practice vision, it's in the every single day practice. So thank you again. And how people can reach out to you and follow your journey and also your project, because you have a lot of cool projects going on right now.
We do,
Yes.
yes. Very, very simple. For me personally, everything online is connected to my name, Julia Kappler, and then anything that relates to the company under Kappler Group.
Awesome. So make sure you follow Julia Kappler on Instagram and also Kappler Group. And I put all of that in the show note for you. So make sure you follow, and can't wait to show you our new space. And hopefully that you can come and see the grand opening of the new space. So thank you again. Don't forget to subscribe, and see you at the next episode.